Here's a weekly media roundup. The first thing that I want to talk about are two movies. The first one is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. I had very high expectations, and if I'm being completely honest, my expectations were not met. It was an enjoyable movie. I loved the aesthetics and I loved the costumes. The second movie that I watched was Obsession, and I am obsessed with Obsession. The story was like a Shakespearean tragedy in my eyes more than a horror. The third thing that I watched this week is a TV show, and so many people recommended that I watch the show when it first came out, but that is something very bad is going to happen. I'm still in this kind of tense part of the mystery and not knowing what's going on, and it's so eerie and I love it, and I can't wait to see what's going to happen. I want to know how everything is going to unfold right now. So on Substack there was an article that I found by Brie Beauregard. She came out with this curated list of feminist horror. So if you're ever interested in exploring feminist horror as a genre, this is a great list to look into and to see all the recommendations on there. It is June, which also means that I get to tackle book 6 of Paradise Lost. I read the introduction article by Gutenberg Bible, which intros book 6, kind of gives us an overview on what's to come, and I also started reading the first 220 lines of book 6 of Paradise Lost. I haven't been reading many magazines or articles this week, only a couple, but I did get my spring edition of the Paris Review, so I'm very excited to tackle this when I can. And I did read 2 articles on Substack recently. The first one is Toot and the Joy of Storytelling, written by a local writer. This was such a beautiful piece about memory, about the joy of finding art, of losing it over time and then reconnecting with it again. I personally felt like I was looking at memories of my own childhood in parts of it. I really, really love this piece. The second Substack article that I read as well was a confessional, and it's called The Entity by Scribbles and Thoughts. This was a short piece that packed a punch, that talks about what it's like to change parts of our natural selves just because society tells us that something is not right or not correct. The 2 books that I've been reading the most this week is Homegoing and Modernity in Black and White. Both these books explore the subject of identity, but this is a fiction story and this is a nonfiction work. This is actually a study, whereas this is a full-blown story. A family that experiences how their lives shape and shift under colonialism, under racism, as generations pass. The way Yaa Gyasi talks about these subjects through Homegoing is so well done. And in Modernity in Black and White, I'm learning so much, not just about Brazil's history, but also about how colonialism and racism also had such a big influence in Brazilian life during this time, and how all these different aspects, from the political climate to the social climate to whatever else was going on, how that was translating through Brazilian artwork.